Hey there everyone, my name is Monkey Shrapnel from the Guys Level Games, back with some more. Diablo 2, why did I sound so sad there? It's like, some more D2 Resurrected Randomizer. I mean, I guess in some aspect I'm kind of sad because this is going to be the last part, assuming everything goes well, because, like, I could go into Nightmare and Hell with this stuff, but I always feel like it's too, like, erratic, you know what I mean? Like, Hell... it's gonna be more of the same, and ultimately, like, with a normal playthrough, I feel like that's fine. Even though I didn't do it on a normal playthrough, but that's because, like, I don't like doing stuff I know I'm gonna end up... like, you don't have to farm to get through Hell, but, like, if you're doing, like, what should we call it? Like, if I'm doing it with a physical character, you do actually kind of have to. Just because, like, ooh, mesh boots, nice. Just because, like with a spellcaster, you can kind of get through with just synergies, but the physical character, you don't really have synergies, which is kind of one of the little bits of actual, like, interesting differences between being, like, a spellcaster and being a more physical character. Because, you know, obviously, when synergies got added to the game, right, a big, you know, obvious difference... I mean, no pickup here. Big obvious difference between the two types of characters now is that physical characters didn't really get much in the way of synergies. Like, there's a couple here and there, but for the most part, like even just like jeez, I already found so much stuff. Like, I'll even show this once we I mean, I guess I'll show it now. Like, you look at, like, all his spells, right? Every spell in here has, like, 2 to 3, or even some of them have 4 synergies, right? But then, like, you go to, say, my summoning skills, and it's like, oh, okay. Lycanthropy is, like, whatchamacallit, like, a passive mastery skill, like Skeleton Mastery. But that's, like, it's slightly different, because this means, you know, it's not, like, a true synergy in that aspect. But, like, you look at it, it's like, well... a lot of these have no synergies, and even the ones that do, like, the only one that has 2 synergies is Fire Claws, which is basically just a fire physical attack, which may as well just be like a physical spell in some aspects. So, in that aspect, it makes a lot of sense. Huh. Because, like, Rabies, like, basically it'll be the elemental stuff, because Rabies gets one and that gets one. Maul actually does, it's the only one that does, but, you know, it's unique in that aspect. Plus, it's a fairly small synergy, and the damage that Shockwave does already isn't that big anyways, so, like, it's not that big a deal. And even, like, in the summoning tree, it's like, none of the spirits have synergies. Poison Creeper gets one with Rabies, which, that's a new one to D2R, which is nice. Makes Creeper a little better, at least. Raven is like... They added 3 different synergies for Raven. It used to have none. So it was like a skill that didn't really scale at all in terms of damage. Like, Raven's still useful, even in Hell, even though it doesn't do much damage. But it's just because it has the Blind, which can actually be really nice. Because Blind is super strong. Like, I've definitely mentioned this before, but Blind is dummy strong. All of a sudden, I can repair the belt. I don't know why it was broken before, but yeah. Blind is stupidly strong, because anything that's like... if a monster is blinded, right, they basically just stop doing anything. Like, not only do they not, like... they'll do the last thing they were gonna do, and then they'll stop. It's like, if they're approaching you and you blind them, they'll still, like, continue to approach you until, like that gets dealt with. Videla's. Do I have it? I do, right? Because it's this. Yeah. That's nice. Maybe I'll get the last one. What's the ambush? The ambush is probably... like, what would it be? Because Fetlock is boots, the snare is the amulet, and the barb is the bow. So the ambush, I want to say it must be gloves, right? It wouldn't be a body armor. I feel like it wouldn't be a body armor. That doesn't... maybe it is, though, actually. It'd be like ambush because it's like camo armor or something, but I digress. What was I even talking about to begin with? Yeah, it's like synergies, like that. Most physical characters got... that was kind of a thing, right? That's kind of why physical characters kind of need to take advantage of some like the super strong rune words, which is why, you know, it can kind of suck to try to play through the game as a physical character on your first try, because you do inevitably hit a wall where you kind of want to just grind for good items, because otherwise it takes you, like, you can push through, it's just it'll take forever to do stuff, is basically the thing. The good thing though is that because of that weird aspect, physical skills actually are like one of the few skills that's like don't suffer too hard from scaling. Like the Enchantress, right, is a sorceress that uses enchant to get like a ton of like fire damage, and like it gives her a ton of attack and stuff, so like generally like she's pretty good on that front. And then like she doesn't have a physical skill normally, but there's a rune word that gives you a couple points to zeal. And like because it's a physical skill, it's just, oh, it does extra damage and it hits, you know, faster. So like that's all you need. Like the 3 points is like good enough, you know what I mean? Because it improves you. It does improve your attack by a fair bit, and it doesn't need to do anything else. Whereas like magic skills, most magic skills aren't percentage scaling, right? Any like skill is gonna be just like, oh yeah, you know, you do this much damage at this level, and that's that. So if you have like this actually happens a ton in vanilla, because there's a lot of skills that there's a lot of armor that used to have like O skills or like charges on them that like used to be kind of fine. Like they weren't necessarily fantastic, but like they were usable. And nowadays it's just like they're mostly like kind of like trash. Like death, like what is it? Breath of the Dying. That's what it is. Breath of the Dying is like probably like the most famous rune word in this game, because it's the one that requires the Zod on your weapon, and it's basically just like it just has a shit ton of stats on it for one thing, but it also just has what was I talking about? So it has a ton of stats on it, and the big thing is that it has I think it's 20% chance to proc a... Ooh, cool. It's very simple, but like, see what I mean? Like freezing, you know, this would be fine because it's just a physical attack plus some extra stuff, right? It gets a little freeze AoE, which is fine, right? Like that's funny how that works. It's a good example. It has like a level 20 Poison Nova on it, and it's like in vanilla that would be awesome, right? In level 20 Poison Nova, that's as strong as you're gonna get from your skill normally, right? Because there's no synergies in the olden days. But then they added synergies, and it's like, well, shit. Now that level 20 Poison Nova actually is like pretty mediocre. It's more just fun and flashy, if anything. It's very suitable to the weapon, but like if you wanted to have skills and stuff on weapons like that are actually still useful, they either need to be way higher level, or you just need to like make like fake versions of the skill that are just stronger, which I feel like is sort of like a weird way to do it, but like more, kind of a reasonable way to do it. I don't remember how Nihlathak's temple goes. At least the first floor. I kind of remember the second floor, but I always forget where the first floor goes, so I kind of just... I think I kind of boned this, because I think it's always in one of like a couple spots. Because the second floor is the same thing, right? There's only 3 spots that the second floor, or the waypoint in the floor can be. So, if you like find the waypoint in one of the spots, I think there's 3? There's 3 spots, and it's like if you find the waypoint in one spot, you know where the third floor is going to be. That was kind of like a non sequitur segue, but I always forget. Mostly because I'm a little, how you say, les stupide. But I mean, what do you expect, dude? I play lots of games. I can't remember everything perfectly, you know? It's unreasonable. Hell, I get some of my knowledge with vanilla Diablo 2 mixed up with median, because that's like the one mod I actually play a lot of in this game. Which, in fact, I've been playing a lot of it lately. Because, man, median's another one of those mods. I think I already talked about this. Like, the difference between median these days and median back when it was like first like a thing is like, holy shit, you know, it's like day and night. It doesn't even look like the same mod. The one good thing I know is that it's the entrances. They're like staircase, I should say, to the next floor is always in like the edges. It's never gonna be in the middle somewhere. So just hang out there. Yeah, I almost wonder if I should like farm Pindle a little bit, cause like I'm really low level. Like you're level 40 by the time you start Nightmare. Like that's like a level you want to be at, and I'm only at level 28. I'm not even close, and like you can probably even take a look. Like my chance to hit isn't terrible, but that's because I've actually got like a pretty decent amount of attack rating. Like attack rating like honestly in the way it works in D2 pretty much is like attack rating is basically just there to compensate for the level disadvantage. If you're a way higher level than your opponent, then attack rating barely matters, because you'll probably have like a 90% chance to hit regardless. There we go. The Hall's of Pain. Might as well we might as well just go back.
Salutations.
Salutations! I'm just gonna buy the scrolls, fuck it. Damn! Look at them procs. Wow, 30% chance for a level 21 enchant? That's actually, like, really good. It has Zeal on it! What the? What? What? Should I talk about the lottery? Maybe I'll win the lottery? What the hell? How the fuck? I just pick up a unique halberd that has enchant and Zeal on it? I was just talking about this. That is something else, I gotta say. I'm gonna sell this because, like, you know what? I might legitimately use this just to quickly stab stuff and get, because a level 31 or a level 21 enchant will last a goddamn eternity. I actually forget how long it lasts, but enchant scales really hard, so like, yeah. I can just like get a kill with this quickly and then swap back. That's kind of awesome. What the hell? What are the chances of that? Ooh. What does he have? Has this, which has like increased attack speed, some damage, has 20-30 cold, blah blah blah. But look at this cold damage and just regular damage. Ripsaw is good for him. Yeah, look at that damage increase. Bam. Now he's gonna be fucking shit up too. Let's go. I'm glad. Sometimes things just work out. You know, it's kind of hilarious how that is. I could be using Amp too, but like, eh. I feel like most of the damage I do is elemental anyways, so like it doesn't really matter that much. I should quickly, yeah, set these up. Because if I'm swapping over, I still want to be using the same skills. So basically I just go like this. There you go. Now my damage is even higher and I have a ton of attack rating. I don't remember how much that increases it by, but that's pretty good. Oh wait, I should be going down. Because I think most of the time on this floor, you basically want to head straight down and see if the waypoint's there. And if it's not, then you go basically straight up to the left. Oh, my weapon's gonna break. I should be careful of that. Hey, Vipers! That's almost what an enemy that shows up here normally. Like, if the waypoint is in the same spot, whoa, then it should be over to the right there. You can see in that big square. Hey, unique amulet, nice. Let's see, is the waypoint here? Nope. This doesn't look like it. So now we're gonna go backward here. Because there's a lot of enemies. So fuck dealing with all that. At least I think. I don't think it goes in. Like, that's pretty much the end there, I think. It might be farther over than I think it is, but I think that's as far as it goes. So now I'm going to go straight over here to the left. Because the waypoint could also be over here. And you know, and it's nice too, because even though I can't see the exact stats, you can tell when enchant's actually active because it puts a red color over your skills. Or your damage, I guess, which is kind of a nice thing. So it's usually pretty easy to tell if it's active because it's just... There's not a lot of other things that'll turn it red, so... That's pretty comfortable, at least. My weapon might... Hopefully it won't break. Oh, this is a dead end anyways. Actually, we're gonna head back right now just to fix it, because also my wolf's dying, so might as well. We'll just do a circle. This is like the classic circle. You talk to Mal to heal, run over to Kane to get your weapon fixed, or to identify your stuff, and then you walk over to Larzik to get your stuff actually fixed. You know, whatever order I said. If I take this off, how much does that reduce my stuff by? I lose the... Like, let's see. 30, 42, 50. If I take that off, it stays the same, actually. I don't get any more set bonuses for 4 pieces of this. That's what it's looking like. Yeah, actually, I think I can afford to take off a piece. Do I lose the Valkyrie? No, I don't even. 20 strength from the Valkyrie. I lose one of the attacker takes damage, which, like, isn't even a big deal. But this does give me a decent amount of life. But what does this give me? Like, this gives me a ton of resistances, life. Life steal is nice. I mean, with the set bonus, this also gives me 100 attack rating, which is actually, like, big, because that gets boosted. Flat attack rating is, like, really handy for a lot of physical characters. Oh, I already have one of these. Well, what's the difference? Oh, yeah, I forgot they added a button to control. I can hold shift to compare it. I forgot about that. It's pretty nice. I don't use that as much. Well, it looks like this one's just better, because it just has higher resistances all over. The only thing it's better is its energy is slightly higher, and the life is up 1. But like, yeah, I'll get rid of that one. Not that I really expect to use it. But hey, you never know. Yeah, you can see my chant's still active though. Like, it lasts forever. Like, here, I'll start stabbing stuff again. There you go. Alright, anyways, some maggots. I gotta admit, the maggots look real maggoty in the remaster. They look nice. Like, they have like they look kind of plated, which I kind of like. And the spider's got a nice fat butt, so I mean, what else can you ask for? You know what I mean? Like, you can I think I can complain about a lot of the balancing choices they've made with like this. Like, I think Sunder Charms are dumb as shit, to be honest. Like, it's such a band-aid fix on the entire mechanic. Like, my personal opinion on immunities has always been that I think immunities are dumb for single player because a lot of characters can't deal with them. So it becomes like any character that can't deal with them just becomes worse in single player. But I think in multiplayer they're fine because the entire point of immunities has always been to encourage, you know, teamwork. You know what I mean? The entire point is to have, you know, you can't just run around with 8 characters all doing fire damage and then get stopped by one fallen that's immune to fire damage. But like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like, that would never happen anyways. But it's just like, that's the entire point is, yeah, like, that you don't want that to happen. Or like, what am I saying? That's the entire point of immunities to begin with, is to encourage like build diversity. So you're not just having everyone use like the ultimate. Like, you wouldn't have a party of just 8 cold swords, you know what I mean? Even though sorceresses are generally like the speedrun character, you still wouldn't see like like, you watch multiplayer speedruns in this game and they have pretty good diverse parties too. It's actually kind of cool. Like, you usually have like a barb for like battle orders, and you can use jump to like knock enemies back and stuff. Like, he won't be doing much damage, but he has great support skills. I think, what's the I'm trying to think. Like, you usually there'll be a sorcerer, one person at least there'll be a sorcerer that just teleports through everything, and then when you get to the boss, then you call in the party to kill the boss, right? Here we go. I kind of remember how this goes. I'm just gonna get rid of that. Alrighty. Now this is another thing, like, one of these walls has like a certain picture on it that you can tell which, it's always the same picture leads to Nihlathak, right? Because it's basically just, there's 4 different pictures, and whichever one shows up with a certain one, it is the one that leads to Nihlathak. But I always forget which one it is. I think it's the eyes. That's what I remember. I always remember it's the eyes. But there's like, I think there's more than one face. So like, I hope this is it. I guess we'll go. This looks like it would be it though. I also like the temple guard. That's funny. That's a very apt enemy to have, all things considered. Well, we'll know if it's Nihlathak because as soon as I get close, the quest thing will show up. Ooh, a war fork. I love me some forks. There you go. See, I was right. Hey, we did it. Gotta wreck Nihlathak. We gotta be careful about his corpse. Well, I guess not really. Corpse explosion is only an issue in hell difficulty when the monsters have a shit ton of life. Gonna kill everything first. Now we're gonna fuck him up. Yeah! Rah. Boom. 2 uniques from an exceptional. That's cool. Man, I'm gonna be honest. His death animation kind of blows in remaster. Because in the original, it shows him like a rift opening up beneath him. But for some reason, they don't show that in the remaster. He just kind of gets sucked into the ground, but there's like no gap for it. It's just kind of weird. 60, 65. I guess I'll put more points to dexterity too.
Good evening.
Not that wands do much physical damage, but I think they get bonus damage from both strength and dexterity. I always find it funny that your reward for killing the guy who betrayed everyone is just, oh yeah, you can personalize your weapon with your name. Like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna eventually put points into Grizzly Bear, but man, he has so, like, look how much life the Grizzly Bear starts with. The Grizzly Bear is ridiculous. It's like most of your summons kind of blow. They used to be better because they like the way it is now is weird. Because like when they added synergies, for some reason they made they completely changed. I think they completely changed the way these all scaled, right? Or, like now it's like you put a point in a Grizzly Bear and that'll increase the damage of everyone. But like, you know, it's like you put points in a Grizzly Bear and he doesn't get extra life. You have to put into Direwolf to get life, and it's like that's kind of a weird way to do it.
Evening.
You know what I mean? It's a bar. Damn, that's not bad. The dual wield. See, if the dual wielder was axes, I'd love to give him this, because like burst of speed would be awesome on him. Triangulated mail. What does this give? This is the Valkyrie, so I kind of don't want to get rid of that, unless I absolutely need to. I'm finding a lot of barbarian stuff. I'm noticing. Damn, hit blinds target 10. That's pretty good. I'm selling it because I'm never gonna use it. Same with this. Like, I'd love to use this. But, like, first of all, I need to be level 34, and I also don't have enough strength for it. Like, if I started putting all my points in strength, I'd have it by 34, but this isn't even all that good. What was the triangulated mail, though? +1 to skills. Hey, it gives me shape-shifting. Has a ton of defense, actually. Also great resistances, but, like, yeah. It's a set item, though, so I guess I'll keep it. Like, do I have any Huans? I don't think so. Huanins? Because it is kind of cute to be seeing some of the... whatchamacallit, some of the, like, newer set items actually starting to drop. I don't think about it. I got the 29. Oh, I need to be 31 for this, because I'll probably do that. Because this is the same thing, but I can max out my resistances, which I already did, technically, so it's not really irrelevant, but I mean, it is technically an upgrade. Oh, I'm at max money? Holy shit, wow. I guess let's just get going then. Oh yeah, I should quickly, whoops, I always do that. No, I swapped my skill. No! But it's 30%, but it procs like every time. Jeez. Alright, there's our buddy, what's his face? Isn't there a guy here, or was that him? The champion cliff lurker. Usually, I thought there was like a super unique by this cave. It's like a super unique elf, but he didn't. Like, either died or he just didn't show up. Oh my god. Looking at those dark rogues gave me like a slight PTSD for a second. Oh, Black Lancers, nice. I think that's actually an unused enemy because none of the black dudes show up. I think except for regular ones do, but there are no black archers or black lancers for whatever reason. There might be actually someone like as like guest monsters maybe, but by default at least, they're an enemy type that is like designed to show up around like late Act 1, but they just don't. There's only the regular ones with like maces. But yeah, I guess I'll talk about this because I mean I might as well, right? Oh god, I forgot. There's so many enemies with shields that are just like, God, can you just not have a shield like all the saber cats do? The skeletons kind of shields. But anyway, so Andario and Bloodraven both have an unused voice line. Like they have two that they say normally, but there's a third one they can each say that's unused because the game never. It's like not included in their list of things that they can say, right? Because of the way the game handles it, it's like it basically chooses one of the two like taunts they have that they'll say when you first see them, and they'll also say it if you like leave and come back. They'll say another random one. But so to get them to say the third thing is not as simple as you would think, because like so the way the game handles it, basically like there's like two main folders, like two main like spreadsheets related to sound. It's like one is for like just all the it's like just a list of all the sounds in the game that can be called, and the other one is like a basically like a list of just like what sounds the monsters actually use, essentially, right? Oh, this one again? Wait, was that the same one? Am I stupid? It actually is a different one, but it's so similar it may as well be the same one. But so whatchamacallit? Yeah, the game has like basically two different spreadsheets that determine like one spreadsheet like is just like a list of all the valid sound effects in the game, and then the other one is just like a list of what sounds the monsters actually use. Right, that's the rub of it. And first of all, trying to add those to the existing like sound groups that they have is a bad idea, because there's so many hard-coded things in the game that it's like it's better to just add a completely new section for sounds, even if they're like just based on old ones. You know what I mean? I might be glossing over. It might be kind of difficult to understand what I'm talking about if you're not looking at it. Let me see here. Let's just pop a point to Fire Claws, whatever. Extra damage, attack range. So, the way that the game actually determines what sounds you use is there's basically like you can basically set up a sound group where it's literally just like a list of sounds. Like you'll have the first one, and then like you'll say like, okay, it's a group of 3, and then because it's a group of 3, it'll say, okay, the next 2 sounds after this one will also are essentially part of the same group, right? It's basically like an easy soft-coded way to do it, right? That's how the game generally does it. And the way it is for Andario and Bloodraven is the third sound that they can say just isn't included in the list of valid sound files that are like allowed for them to be used, and it's not in their monster sounds either. So like it's the actual like wave file, because they use wave files for this stuff, is in the game files. It's just not referenced by anything, so you can't by default use it on anything. But since it does exist, you can technically just go, okay, you just make like a whole new list for sounds like at the end of the sounds spreadsheet, because like I said, there's so much hard-coded stuff that just trying to add it in the middle of the spreadsheet is just not a good idea, because it'll break like everything basically. So you add it at the end of the spreadsheet, and then you basically just go, okay, now you've got a sound group of 3. You just re-include the first 2 like sounds that are like allowed for Blood Raven and Dario to say, and then you add the 3rd one, because they're literally just like, it's literally named like Andariel Taunt 1, 2, and then the unused one is Andariel Taunt 3, and it's the same thing for Blood Raven, right? And so you just do that, you name it, and you're all good to go, right? But the thing is that by default, just doing that doesn't actually work at all, and in fact, trying to do that will also completely break, and they will just never say anything ever, for some reason, and the actual reason why is kind of silly. But I will mention that the reason why I talked about this in relation to the Black Lancers is because the rogues have an unused sound too. They have an unused death sound, and that one can be enabled in the same way. You just go to the death sounds, add a bunch after the fact. Like you basically just add the same thing with Andariel and Blood Raven, right? You just add a new section at the end that's just the same list of their death sounds plus the unused one. And that works, perfectly fine. It was one of the first things I did when I was working on this mod. Is like, well, might as well try to do that. And it was easy peasy lemon squeezy to do. So I was like, oh, okay. It's so easy to do. So then I tried to doing it, and I'm like, okay. And then I see like, oh yeah, there's unused sounds for Andariel and stuff too. So like, okay. Well then let me just go ahead and do that then. No problem, right? Yeah, no, there was in fact a big problem. Because I tried absolutely everything I could think of to get it to work. Like, no matter what I did, no matter what I tried to do, no matter what, they would not play this, like, the voice clip. And, like, basically any way I tried to reference it at all, it just would not work. Like, and it wasn't even that, like, it wouldn't reference the unused one. If I tried to make it play any of the new ones I set up, that are just using the sounds that are already in the game and are referring to the exact same file, and the line of code I was using is literally identical to the one that's actually being used, it still would not work, no matter what I did. And that stumped me for an eternity. I could not figure it out. I literally gave up on it, and then, like, only recently I tried getting it to work again. And I basically ran into the same problems again. Ooh, there we go, we got our chat. Where it's just like, no matter what, anytime I try to reference the new line of code, it just, like, I guess the new line in the spreadsheet, it would not work, no matter what I did. And it baffled me to no end, because, like, how come I can do it with the rogue super easy? Just, I change one thing and it works fine. Like, I do the exact same thing for both of them and it works. But, I finally figured out what was the problem, because I finally got it to work. And it turns out it's because of the way the game, like, if you don't know, right, the game, basically the way that you're generally going to mod this game is that basically you have like a setting you can enable in the executable, or however you want to do it. But in a nutshell, you can basically enable the game to read from text files in your directory, like your computer, like hard drive directory, instead of the actual like files of the actual game. And the thing is that it has to be formatted the same as the actual game files, but it does that by default, because that's pretty much like, it might be a little hard to follow, but basically, like, you just set up all your files to have, like, the same names as the actual, like, patch, like, your MPQ files that they're called, is the files in the Diablo 2 directory that have all the files in it, essentially. Like, the MPQs, for all intents and purposes, are basically just, like, containers that have the files in them. So, getting it to work like that is just kind of how it is. And if you think you know what I'm going with, where I'm going with this, you'd probably be wrong, because you think like, oh, maybe it's just like something weird, like the file name is just wrong or something weird, and it only works with the original because it's hard coded. And it's like, that's kind of how it is, but it's actually the opposite of that. So the reason why the originals work is because they are already hard coded, right? Because, or that's actually not even true. I mean, I guess that is kind of true in a way, but the problem with the original is that the game does not read your sounds from the same, like, essentially the taunts are in a different file than regular monster sounds, right? They're not in the, like, they're in a completely different area of your game files, right? Because the taunts are with, like, your like language stuff, right? Because it's like, you know, in different languages, the words they say have to be translated, right? Which makes sense. But the monster sounds are just in a different spot because they don't have to be translated, right? Because all the monsters just make like grunts and noises, and even stuff like the fallen dudes who say like Rakanishu and stuff, like that doesn't have to be translated because that's just the name of the monster. So like that's fine. So the problem all this time was 127% chance of open wounds. What the fuck? That's Hawan's is a really good set item for some reason. It's really strong on its own, and that's also bonkers. But yeah, basically the problem was the folder I was trying to like play the sound from. It will not work. You cannot put a sound in that folder and like actually play it. No matter what you do, no matter where you play it, the game just refuses to look in that folder because it automatically, like, you can't tell it which folder to look in, right? It'll look in, well, I guess you kind of can. I'm not even sure why. It's like some weird, it is some weird hard-coded stuff. It doesn't read from that folder for some reason. I don't know why. So if I put the taunts where the monster sounds are, it worked perfectly fine. I don't get why. My rants that I just did might be like incomprehensible to anyone that doesn't already have a complete understanding of what I'm even talking about. But I don't know. Basically, in a nutshell, the files were in a folder that the game refused to read from. I had to put it in a different folder, and then that just made it work. Even though, like, when you like have the sound in your thing, or whatchamacall, like the spreadsheet already like has a thing, like you have to reference exactly where the file is anyways. So there's no reason why it shouldn't. It just doesn't. But I completely digress. Jeez. Wow, man, I forgot how much that shit has 50 resistances on it. I forgot how bonkers that is. This will give me more damage. But I don't know. I think my damage is good enough already, to be honest. But yeah, that rant might be just completely incomprehensible to anybody that already hasn't done extensive modding with this game. But I just really wanted to talk about it because that was like, that frustrated me to no end. I could not get it to work. Also, I can get the grizzly bear. Hell yeah, let's go. 1200 life that gets boosted from the freaking oak sage. This guy is a beast right now. And I guess that'll boost up all my dogs and stuff too, so I might as well pop a point into that. Yeah, sure. Hell yeah, let's go. Alright, so now we're gonna go do the final area. Wish me luck. The World Stone Keep. Whoa, that animation was just like broken. Is that because of... Is that always broken in the remaster, or is that just some weird thing? Who knows? Oh my god, stop blocking! They all have shields, and these guys do a shit ton of damage to me, and they're all blocking! Luckily, my grizzly bear is a monster, but my wolves may die in here, because yeah, it's always those dudes. They just do so much damage, and they pierce everything, because they just attack through you, right? So it's after, of course, they're in the last area here to fuck me. I also love that the slingers and the guest monster slingers are broken in like vanilla D2. Should I say? I guess vanilla is the right way to put it. They're not broken for a reason you'd expect them to be. They're broken because like I think that it's just like an oversight. Like basically, like if you know what I'm talking about, it's that in I think they fixed it in remaster. Like surely they did. They fixed so many things in remaster, but basically, they would throw their spears, and then their spears would go through absolutely everything, except for like a player character. So like if you have like an army of minions, those throw spears and they'll just go right through all the minions. And you know, if you're in the way, then they'll hit you. But otherwise, like they'll just never hit anything. And it's because that's just a setting that can be enabled on projectiles to just tell them to ignore everything except players. But and like you could argue like maybe that's intentional, but like. It actually probably is. Like surely it must be, but it's like it doesn't really work very well for them because they'll still try to target your minions. It's just they will never be able to hit them because the projectile just goes through it. So basically, if they're throwing a spear and then you're not in the way, they'll just never hit you. Essentially, they'll never hit anything, and they'll just keep wasting time throwing stuff. It might be intentional, it might not be. I don't know. Who knows? There's so many tiny mistakes in the text files. It's hard to say. Alright, let's go over here. God, there's so many death slashers. Can we get off this floor? I hate this area. Ooh, a short bow. Wow. This will be good, obviously. And my dudes are gonna die. Crikey. Like, it really... they just do so much damage. I swear, there's something about D2. You always die to freaking, like, either it's because you get surrounded or you just get hit by a ton of projectiles. It's always one of the two. That or dolls. But dolls are kind of also the same thing, where it's just... You don't die to one doll. You die because, like, 3 or 4 dolls surround you and then just all explode next to you because your merc just doesn't give a shit. Because, you know, that's another thing that doesn't hit minions and stuff, is doll explosions. They only hit players. They might hit minions, maybe? I don't remember, but I don't think they do. So how much health does my wolf have? Because it's like 200, and then the Oak Sage boosts that by like 65%, so that's like 300. It's not nothing.
Salutations.
Ugh. Still. Cathins, blah blah blah. The double bow. Ignore target's defense. I got a Heart of the Wolverine thing on it. Is that the same bow? No, they just both have charges of level 3 Heart of the Wolverine. What are the chances of that? Huh. That's awesome. Alright, what's this gonna be? Boring? Yeah. Physical damage reduced by 25 is actually quite good, but not really necessary. I don't care about any of that.
Not here.
Not here. There's actually like so many unused voice clips. It's surprising. Like most quests have like several lines of dialogue. Like especially like I feel like Act 2 in particular has a ton of unused dialogue. Like most of the quests have things that everyone can say, and like just nobody says anything during most of them for some reason. Like I guess they just decided like they didn't need to talk so much. I don't know. That stuff can't really be added without like code editing, because that's all like, man, I really explored this entire floor, huh? Well, at least I found a unique ring. Maybe it'll be good. But that stuff can't be like fixed with just like using the text files, because that stuff is all hard coded as book. It's kind of funny how many problems arise in this game. Just because, like, the game originally was never designed with the idea of being able to soft code it like that, and being able to make it easy to mod with, like, the text files and stuff. But, like, that's something that I forget when that changed. Was that changed in 1.7 or 1.10? I think it was changed in 1.10, I want to say. But it might have been done soon, I don't remember. And we finally found the floor 2. Alrighty. What level am I? I'm level 30. Yeah, I'm pretty low level, and Baal especially has a ton of defense, so my chance to hit him is going to be pretty low. And he's high level, so like, yeah. Like a double whammy. It's one of the many reasons why being a physical character sucks, because like, a lot of bosses tend to just have a ton of defense. But like, obviously that defense means absolutely nothing to most magic characters, so it's kind of silly. Definitely one of the many aspects. Like I kind of like it like that, like as silly as it is. Although I do still think bosses should not. Like I think bosses should have a little better stats, but like it's way too much. Like they'll have like double the defense of everything, and it's like half as likely to hit stuff. It's like, man, that sucks. I wonder what we're gonna find. You think we'll find the waypoint first, or the? Can I hit the shrine? Thank you. Like I wonder what we'll hit. You think we're gonna find that waypoint first or the floor? Waypoint? Yeah, that's fine. I already picked up some stuff anyways, so we'll quickly just do a loop-de-loop.
Yes.
Yes?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening.
I picked up the ring, right, yeah. Handled ring. Well, here. Let's see. Slightly more attack rating, slightly less lifesteal, slightly more mana, less resists. Yeah, it sucks. Alas.
Not in town.
Yeah. I'm not allowed to, like, swing my fists in town. Which I guess makes sense. And somehow I was gonna make, like, a joke, like, if you get into a bar fight, you must be, like, erased from existence for, like, breaking the law. But I guess that kind of does technically happen, if you think about it. Just, you know, less erased from existence. But, yeah. Alright, since I found the waypoint, I'm gonna go balls to the wall and just kind of run past everything for a second. Oh, no, there you go. It's a dead end. Ignore all that stuff. We'll gather the pack with by going up and down the stairs. And we'll head this way. And we'll run past everything. 'Cause y'all suck. I'm tired of all your dumb faces. Just look at all y'all. Christ on a cracker, but I did get to the 3rd floor easy peasy. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Oh no. Ooh, Hellbow lines. It's an app. Yeah, and the scarabs too, man. I love the scarabs. I always say this, but the scarabs are such a great enemy. They're cool just because they're like the lightning chant thing, but even under the hood, like if you don't know, scarabs have like they have like a thing where essentially there's 2 different types of each scarab. Like there's 2 different types of like these scarabs are just called scarabs. So there's essentially 2. Actually, is that even true? There might actually only be 1. I think it's just 1. And essentially just one of them is like they're like the boss. And the rest are like their minions. You can't tell. But the boss will basically tell the minions to like run up to you and jab. Where was I? I just had to leave for a sec. Right, the scarab, yeah. So basically, whenever there's like a group of scarabs, one of them is like, he's like the boss, the head honcho, as it were. And when you see like all the scarabs running at you and like attacking you, like specifically they run at you, like they move way faster, right? And that's because the boss essentially tells them to like sprint at you and like jab you. And when you kill the boss, they can't do that anymore. Although I think they even have a system in place where when you kill the boss, one of them like gains the leadership. So then he can tell the other ones to run at you and jab you. So, it's kind of funny how that works. But yeah, sorry about that. It's always funny to me that it's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm still getting interrupted during stuff. Like I always try to pick the most dead times to record so this doesn't happen. I still get interrupted constantly. Oh well. What are you gonna do?
I can't carry it.
What? Fine. Now my voice sounds clammy because I just like quickly ate a snack because like I'm getting interrupted. I might as well, you know, take my time to do some stuff. Oh right, I always forget that the lion helm is not it's the name of a druid helm or a barb helm. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I like this a little better because this is giving me set stuff, and the 100 lightning damage is pretty nice. But hey. Apparently I picked up a dragon shield at some point just because, I guess. Okay. Ethereal cannot be repaired. I find it kind of funny that Nagorine is pretty much exactly the same. It's a little different, but it's still like just the gold magic find. Brevet Keep. It's okay. If Baal used a lot of fire attack, I probably would keep that around just for him, but he doesn't. He's mostly like cold and like just a lot of physical attack. So no, he does have his little fire Nova attack, but that doesn't really do that much damage, so I also don't need this charm. I should be picking up charms more often, but I always get like, I don't like filling out my inventory with them. I think charms are a little cheesy anyways a lot of the time. Because like the meta in the late game tends to be just filling up your entire inventory with charms, which always feels kind of weird. But, I mean, what are you gonna do? What's the saying goes? If given the opportunity, players will optimize the fun out of your game. I don't know if that's necessarily an apt thing to say here, but it is true that given enough time, everything will always end up in a situation where it's just, this is the best. You know, there will always be a meta pick, no matter how hard you try to balance your game. And I think at the end of the day, all you can really do is just try to make sure that everything is like has some reason to be used. And I think that Diablo 2 mostly does a good job of that, although there are some definitely like I feel like a lot of the certain skills do kind of suffer from that thing where it's just like, why would I ever use, you know, like I always say, right? It's like, why would you use Ice Bolt when Ice Blast exists? Where it's literally the same skill, but just better. Should I have Hunger? Nah. If I was going to hell, I probably would have put a point into it, because even just the 1 point is pretty nice. I could use more attack rating because, like I said, I'm having struggle with me. So yeah, put a point in them all. It's the disadvantage of being bear over wolf. Wolf gets attack rating from being a wolf. Bear does not. Bear gets damage and defense. Wolf gets attack rating and combat speed, or like attack speed, which is a nice difference. I guess bear does also get more life, but the actual difference isn't very big because lycanthropy adds a lot of your life. Alright, look at all these guys. Jeez. I know it's because it's like double density, but jeez Louise sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes like you forget, like, yeah, there's just a ton of dudes. Why not? Druid's kind of funny because like he naturally gets a ton of life. Because he has Oak Sage and his transformations give him a huge boost to life and all this stuff. But he's technically still like a mage character, right? Because he only gets 2 points of life per like vitality, right? So because of that, one of the things is that because he only gets that also means that the life he gets from mana potions is a lot lower than most characters, which is kind of like a funny thing. How fast can you kill a drowned carcass, huh, wolf? Oh yeah, they can kill. I was gonna just identify the charm, but I guess I might as well just leave and do this now. Repair my weapon. I don't think I'll have to repair my weapon again after this, so this will be the last trip, and then this is the last time I've seen these guys. As it were.
Afternoon.
Let's see. Freezes targets, nice. Wow, weaken charges on a charm? That's kind of cool. This would get rid of my Valkyrie is the problem, but like that's pretty good. Freezes target and open wounds is kind of a banger. Kind of noticing, normally there's like a thing that's like freezes target +1, but it's not showing for some reason. Did they change that to not show that anymore? It'd be kind of weird if they did, because if you don't know, the freezes target thing on affix that spawns and stuff, it isn't just like oh yeah, you freeze with every hit. There's actually like a formula, and when it says like, you know, freezes target +5 or whatever, that +5 actually does make it easier to freeze your target versus, you know, +1 or whatever. Like, it does mean something. So it'd be kind of weird for them to just get rid of that formula. Or, like, at least not show it to you, because it's almost certainly still there. I doubt they'd get rid of that. Or, like, change that to do just 100% chance of freeze, because that'd be insane. Freeze is already really strong. Because, like, the thing with stun is that stun is just, like, kind of mostly all or nothing, right? If you stun something, they're stunned, but if they don't get stunned, then you're not doing anything. Whereas with freeze, it's like, if you don't freeze them, you still chill them, right? I might as well leave, because, yeah, these stupid Hydras get their bonus damage. I just don't remember exactly how that works. It's funny I said it was the last time, and then we went back anyways, because, like, why not? You have to wait for the Hydras to go anyways, because, you know, you can tell that their monster is not just, like, a missile, because they actually, like... Oh, another Zeal. Because, Baal won't, like, progress until the Hydras go away. And you can't kill them or anything, so you just have to wait. Oh yeah, I guess I should use my enchant. Let's see how much my attack rating goes up from that. So in this it's 1500 and my default it's 1000. So let's see how much I get from stabbing these guys. Or maybe not, because my minions killed everything. What the? I gotta leave because I don't want to be dealing with this while I'm hitting minions of destruction. So how was it that I was getting this literally every cast before, and now I'm not getting it at all? What did I do? There we go. Yeah, that gives me like almost 1,000 extra attack rating. Like, that's pretty good. It's quite the boost. There was a glitch discovered not too long ago that actually lets you like skip Baal waves, which is kind of fun. If you like put a TP in just like the perfect spot, it, like does like a weird thing, or like it kind of like progresses the. I don't remember. It's like it like kind of forgets the monsters are there. There's something weird like that. And these guys are as tough as ever. It's like they're it's funny because like especially in Hell, but even in Nightmare, like those dudes are like considered stronger than Baal, because like it's like they use charge, so like you just can't like can barely even approach them. And like keep in mind that monster charge always hits. Like if a monster uses charge, they cannot miss. For some reason, it's weird like that. So that charge when you use it can miss. Charge when a monster uses it cannot miss. With Smite, it's actually the opposite. If a monster uses Smite, they can miss. But if you use Smite, it'll always hit. Like, look at my chance to hit Baal right now, like 62%, and it's probably not even that high. Because if you don't know, the game, you know, the lying character screen is like a thing, right? Like, that's not a name for nothing. And you can see how the difference between the bear and the other dudes. Were like, I'm taking. They all die, but the bear just like tanks. Hey, and that's freaking it. That's it. We've done everything. I'm gonna. I'll check what these items are, and then we're gonna call it. Oh, so yeah, now that Baal's dead, we actually unlocked the terror zones. Terror zones are cool. I do like terror zones, even if they are just kind of an excuse to just... Like, I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what I was going to go with that. Just, you know, I like them. So let's see. Cedar staff. Everything has Zeal. What the hell? Zeal on a staff. It's kind of funny. I mean, hits blind target plus 10 does mean that it's level 4 Oak Sage charges too. That would be pretty good. Got a lot of stuff here. I wish I could use this axe just for fun. 42% chance of crushing blow is kind of a banger. And a level 18 Spirit Wolf is also a banger. Like, this would be great on, like, the Hatchel Wolf. Oh, well. How are you doing, Wolf Sand? You got, you know, pretty good damage there. Alright. I think that's gonna be it for everything, then. Do I have any other orphans here? Nope. I have a Malvana, although I found 2 belts, of course. Classic. I mean, I guess I'll keep it, because maybe I will do more playthroughs, I don't know. I feel like if I'd ever replay this, I'd probably just go to a new character again, though. Like, the next one will probably be like an Amazon, if anything. Boo, Arathros, Maggie, Mila, nope. Sazava and Natalia's. Oh, I had the thing for this. That was the thing, and I just sold it. That's kind of sad. Oh well. I don't have any of these, so I'll just put them here. 80% faster run walk. That's almost better than this. This comes with the attack speed and the lightning damage. Like, this is so good. But, yeah, I think that's it. Oh, I have Orphan's Call. I have the shield. What about the gloves, huh? Of course, 13 to Firewall. This comes with fire damage, though. I don't have the lifesteal anymore, though, but it does have Cannot Be Frozen. Oh, this has 10% lifesteal. Shit! I could have been using these. That's pretty nice, actually. Anyways, is there any other sets I never really got to complete? Like, I think that's everything. Might as well just throw these early ones out. Like, I'm never gonna use these. Even Angelic is like, nah. Is there any point in doing this? I don't know. Maybe I'll use these things eventually. Who knows? Maybe I'll do another playthrough of the Judo. I'll actually go through the higher difficulties. We'll see. Probably not, if I had to guess, because like I said, I don't like... It's just not my style. If I was ever to go through all the difficulties, I'd probably just do it where I do like a... Probably an Amazon, I feel like, is like one of the easiest characters to run through. Because, like, she has a couple, like, just really good skills. And also, like, her gear is just really easy to get, because you can just buy most of her, like, best gear, so... Yeah, that'll be it. Like, I can't think of anything else. Look at this. It's kind of funny to look at. Should I just... Here. I'll at least sell it all just to... for closure. Hallelujah. There we go, max money, perfect. Everything in the cube? Hallelujah. That's how we go, baby. Yeah, that'll be it for this part. And, like, I guess this thing in a nutshell. I mean, I might do another rando run at some point. If I do, though, like I said, the next one will probably be I want to say it would be a Amazon. Maybe a paladin, because I'm never gonna do a random run and then do a sorceress, right? Because sorceress gets all of her damage from her skills anyways. So even the necromancer would mostly be just like magic, right? They're like the two like main magic characters, they get all their damage from magic. So there's very little point in doing random runs with them. Maybe I'll just do like a vanilla run, even just with someone, I don't know. But either way, yeah, that's it for this series. You know. Like I said, maybe I'll I'll definitely do D2 again at some point because I love this game, really do. It's just a fun game. Every playthrough is different, so it's just great it's even great in that aspect. But yeah, enough rambling, gambling, gaming, man. I digress. See you guys later.